It's his connection to MI5, isn't it? I mean, who thinks about these things? All a little bit challenging, and because that would be a problem. Come on, you morons, what are you doing? Hurry up. So this might be the last video you ever see. Yo, morning. So I am back at the spy's house, all right? So I'm back here, and today I'm going to be getting on with some more first fix in this loft conversion that we're doing. And so the lads have now cleared out all the insulation. That's all gone for me because I'm a little bit of a princess. Need it all out. And we've got absolutely tons of network that we've got to run in, all basically where you are right now on this back wall. Loads of network all the way across there, and we're going to start looking at getting all the first fix cables in, because we've got to all re-insulate everything and get a new floor down. But that isn't going to be today. That is, for me, it's just purely sparky. So that is what I'm up to today. So if you're new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do. Notifications. So we've now started launching doing these Sunday morning videos as well. I put a poll out recently and people seem to be wanting more and more, which is fantastic. So gonna try and do that for you. So first things first, I'm gonna show you where we're up to right now and then show you the plan. So this is what we've been left with. We have got the world's smallest diagram to work with. So we have got sockets along this wall, which is where you were a second ago. And each one of these, where I left last time, we have got a load of cables for the network all spooled up here, because I couldn't get further past here because all of those boards were all here. So now I know, after chatting with the client this morning, because I said, look, you've got way too many network points up here and I've got loads of spares, which is actually down here. So we've got loads of spares. So we've got, what's the crack here? And in fairness, he did say to me, each one of these on this back wall, treat them all as doubles. So I'm going to get that rattled out of the way straight away now. So we're going to start running them all through. So these floor joists are engineered joists. So if you don't know what they are, effectively, you'll see on the joists themselves, they're not a solid timber structure, which is great for first fix and things like that. So you've got these strengthening pieces of steel in, and they are an engineered joist, which does give me an absolute ton of void space running through. Customer points. Spot on. So my runs are fairly simple, okay? I've got to get a double up now. Effectively, we're going to come all the way around here. But when I left, I got Jack to untangle all the cables, because for some reason, they all ended up in an absolute disaster. And I mean disaster. They were just awful. So we threw them down the end and then started to one by one uncoil everything. So now I've got multiple strands like this, and we're going to run them in one at a time, and then we'll zip tie them, not too tight, not to crush, because like the customer said today, don't over tighten those because you'll lose bandwidth, I believe he said. More importantly, this is what I'm saying, it's his connection to MI5, isn't it? I mean, who thinks about these things? I mean, come on. So we're going to run these through, we're going to get these all set up in time lapse, and then we'll staple up at the end and keep them all out. Because what I want to try and achieve, because obviously this is all going to be insulated again, I want to try and achieve everything to be sitting on top of the insulation, because I don't, obviously got to think about derating factors on the electrical side, and I imagine it's going to be the same deal with all these networks. So I'll start pulling these in, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so the cables are ran to this far end now. So what I now need to do is, because what we've got across this wall, so this is effectively going to be like one massive office. So we're going to need to put the data points all the way. So obviously we've got doubles all the way up, and then we've got a load of other bits and bobs. Now on here, so on this wall, at the minute it's all insulated as it is, and then we've got effectively we've got another 25 mil sort of batten, plasterboard, and then there's like a space blanket that's going on. So they've got a little bit of a void that's coming up. So effectively, as long as I now drill flat to the back here, because effectively everything's going to be sticking out this end. So I just need to work out my spacing all the way along here for all the network, and then where every network point is, there's also going to be a double socket. So there's loads, absolutely tons and tons to do. So I need to go and get my spade bits, get those drilled out. But yeah, so on the plan, and then the client's actually said to me, because I'm looking at the plan right now, he said because across that back wall, so if I come across this way, so on this back wall, there's going to be like a little stud wall that's run all the way through, but that can't be built until the floor's down and all the vapour barrier is over. It's like a complete envelope. That's probably the best way of describing it. So he did say to me that he wants another network point over there. Yes, I know. So yeah, so it's quite a lot going on. So, but I don't know, the only like data mark I've got is basically this steel. So I'm going to try and work out where that is from on here. So yeah, it's all a little bit challenging. And the thing is, I've got to get them through the floor in preparation, ready for the rest of the floor to go down. So hopefully by the end of this video, I can get it all sorted, but who knows? Okay, so we've just drilled in all those holes, so now I know my locations for the network and the socket. So what I'm now going to do is going to go down the line, back down this way, and we're going to zip tie those other ones back to it. And the reason behind that is because I want everything sort of neat, and then when I get down that end where they go like down here and they go that way, I need to have them nice and straight on that far end, because if not, it's just going to look a mess. So what I'm going to try and do is get them all sorted. We'll zip tie them all up, making sure they're not too tight, and no other actual mains cables are all in amongst them, because that would be a problem. So like I say, it doesn't have to be, they're not mental tight, they're just loosely fitted, and we can work our way through. Hopefully, with a bit of luck, no more data. So one of the things about the customer, he wants absolutely no dust, rubbish, or anything else in amongst all this, which I do understand. I do get it. Especially when you're going to this extent and we're taking out all the ceramic walls and all the rest of it. I get it. Right, this is great fun. Right, so what I'm now going to do is try and sort out the lengths on those, because obviously when they came from all the way down there back into the comms room, they were just guesstimated. So I think I've got enough length to go all the way along. But what I'm going to do is going to get them up to this point and then tack them along, and then they're going to sit in this higher section. And the reason why I'm going to do it that way is because, like I say, I want them all out of the insulation where I can. And then what I'll probably do is try and lift some of these up so they're up and out of it, and when the lads do all the insulation, we can try and get them to go underneath everything. So a little bit more of a mission. We'll have to put a bit of banding strap and stuff in, but it'll be a better job, and I know the client will be happier about it. So yeah, right, roll on the next bit. Okay, so people are multiplying. So we've got everyone here except for Steve. He is office bound right now. So I've got all the data ran through. So that is basically where Lou is and Clay. So we've got the 5 smashed along that wall. And now I'm going to start looking at getting all the sockets in amongst all that lot. The lads, just as a bit of a side note, lads are now starting looking at sorting out all for vapour barrier. So they're on to that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of the lads to sort it out without me falling. So getting some of this sort of tacked up. So we're onto the bottom side of these joists and stuff. So I'm probably going to use a bit of banding strap around there and just keep them up. And then obviously when all the insulation goes in, all amongst there, they're going to sit on top of the insulation, not the bottom. So yeah, so very, 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 very busy. People are multiplying. So we've got Sean is here as well.
Yeah.
Look, he's here. He's here doing his thing.
Save the day.
Yeah. Just in case you didn't know, that he has got a drag act. It's called the Rouge Show.
Oh right, you're missing the other part.
Kale and Rouge. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and that was his little rendition of his upcoming act, and you can find him soon on the specialist sites.
Specialist sites.
So in this corner, we're now going to start getting. So I brought my feed up, which is just here. So we've got the feed up. We're going to clip that along the back and then start coming down that way.
That's the way I've been told, so just back off, mate. Okay? Don't want to hear it today. It's Tuesday.
More sass.
Tuesday is no sass day.
You heard it here first. No sass Tuesday. That's what Sean wants.
Sassless.
Sassless, that's what he wants. So effectively now I've got the cable ran around to that's from here all the way down to the board, which is about 10 miles away. So what we're going to use is the 2.5mm Earthshore cable that we're going to run all the way through. We're going to basically loop in and out all the way down. Sean's just making a mess. This is supposed to be no wood shavings and dust in here. And look at all this. So all this has just been done by Sean. And then he's come in, he's made another one like this. Yeah. And he's just sick. Look, now he's drawing out for some more mess making ability.
You realise how long this took us to clean out dust free this was?
Yeah, and look, well, you've missed a bit. So Clay's just been and got the hoover now because Sean's missed all these bits to hoover up. So
well, I'm going to have to hoover then, aren't
I? He's a nightmare. So we're just going to get these bits done. I mean, that's a proper sparky clean, that, isn't it? There you go. What more do you want? They are. I might be pushing my luck a little bit with these because they seem to be sheeting all the room up. So this might be the last video you ever see. Because I feel like they might be
setting up a crime scene.
Setting up for no DNA. That's what we're going with.
Yeah.
So I probably need to wind my neck in a little bit. Nah, where's the fun in that? Come on, you morons, what are you doing? Hurry up. Okay, so we're starting to get these cables actually in place now. We ain't got that many left to do. But it's always a really good idea to leave some excess for the cables because position changes and all the rest of it. So like here, so we've got a bit of excess coming out of the wall, and same with this one. So I'm just going to show you what's a recommended length of excess. So I'm just going to hold on to the other end of this, and then we're going to walk it. So we've got the wall back there. We're just going to make sure that we've got enough, because the last thing you want is to make sure that you're too short. So here's the other end of the cable. So you want to make sure that you don't leave it, too short. There's a little bit of risk. And that is where it's fed from. And by doing it that way, what it does, it really tickles the plasterers. They love it. They really enjoy having the excess. And yeah, and there's room for it to be relocated anywhere around the room. Okay, so we've got that point there, only joking, don't leave them that long, but they are for now, but they're not staying in that position. So while the lads are wrangling all that stuff on there, I don't envy them on that job. So what's left is we've got there's a stud wall, like I said, that's going all the way along there. I've got a socket this side and that side, and one power for basically the storage area under here. And then where clay is over this side of the room, can't go any further because that is a bit of an issue. So there's 2 more going down there. But because it's such a long run, and I don't know what the final load is going to be for up here, because who knows. I think I might make this into a ring rather than a radial, because yes, I could have done it in a 32 amp radial with a 4mm, but we've used 2.5 mil cable. So yeah, so I've just got these last ones. Now you may have noticed that on the clipping I'm going to the top, the very, very top, which does, so it's going to leave you a little bit vulnerable when they've put the floor down, because obviously if they miss these joists, then you're likely going to pierce one of my cables. But because these joists are massive, they're like that long, they shouldn't miss those at all. Like I say, because I want my cables out of the insulation because of a derating factor. So yes, so out from there, over to there, over there, over there, over there, and then back down to the board. Yeah, and then I'm out of their way. Okay, so we're back to this stage, and obviously the lads have got the vapour barrier sort of started, which is great. And they're now cracking on with this side. So I've got all the sockets ran along there, which I'm sure the lads are very happy about. They've got cables and stuff like that in the way. So they're doing that. So I've now got my final leg to here. So this is my last one here, which is on what will be the stairwell. And then if you might be able to see just down here, so just down there is all the studs, so it's got to go down there now and then that way, and then that'll be back to the board, because like I said, I think I'm going to make this into a ring rather than mess about with the radial, because I know there's going to be some adaptations going on. So like underneath there they want sockets leading into this storage area, which I'll go and show you. So underneath here, so this is a new sort of storage area that's been created. So this is all going to be insulated and all the rest of it, but the customer wants all the cables ran after, so we want all the insulated doing, and then I think there's 2 strip lights going in here, and then I think in this area you want some power down here or something like that. So that's why at the minute I've just had to leave cables in situ. The main mission really is to get all the cables out of the floor. So if they're out of the floor, it means all the flooring can go back down, which is great. So what's left is I've got bits like this that I've now discovered, so like that, which I've got to figure out where they come to and get rid of them. So like I say, the whole house is being rewired. There's also another bedroom which is underneath, which is basically, I'm trying to climb out of there. So, which is underneath that room there. I've got to make sure that all the lighting is all sorted before we get the floor down, which is, so that cable there has got, that's our loop feed for that room, and you can see that white cable there that comes up, so that's where the light switch is at the minute, but I think that's all going to be reconfigured. So we've got that wall there, this is called Stramit wall, which is basically straw that's compressed and filled with some sort of, I don't know, fire retardant property or something, so all of those are all coming out, so that's still yet to do, so that's another phase, but I need to make sure that they come down somewhere. Whether I go down to the switches, I think was my original thinking. Right, so on here, so I'm just going to go through this bit now. So obviously I need to just get my cables out the floor. So what the lads are doing now with the vapour barrier is what's really, really important, that they're sorting all that out now. And then over the top of this, it's all going to be battened down the ceiling with 2x2. So 2 inches by 2 inches timber, which will give me like a service void all the way through. That's what I need up, which is why the lads are cracking on with all this now. I need all that up, then obviously to put downlights in, because you need that void to get your, the downlights that we're going to be using are the JCC V50s, which will be going in, because they work for that void. So yeah, so it's a pretty good day in fairness, and we're pretty much at the end of where we can be. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching, and if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do, and I shall see you. Oh, hang on. What, go, get in there, Sean, get in
Hit
there.
that like button.
You see? Now what? Turn your...
Notifications on.
Yeah. Ring the...
Ring the little bell.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, on that note, see you later.